This terrifying but very much real image emerged just recently. In it, you can see something that looks like it belongs in a science fiction movie. From far above Earth, aboard the International Space Station, an astronaut captured something astonishing over Louisiana. A gigantic jet blasting upward straight into the sky. It looks as if Earth is sending a signal skyward. Can science explain this eerie phenomenon? Apparently, it can. This energy blast is called a gigantic jet, and it's one of the rarest and most powerful kinds of lightning we know about. Unlike regular lightning, which strikes down toward the ground, gigantic jets shoot up from storm clouds, and they can stretch for more than 50 miles into the sky. Sometimes they even reach the ionosphere, the layer where Earth's atmosphere starts blending into outer space. To give you an idea, space officially starts around 62 miles above sea level, and the ionosphere stretches from about 50 to 400 miles up. Shockingly, scientists have only known about gigantic jets for about 20 years, and we're still figuring out exactly how they work. One theory is that something inside the storm cloud blocks the lightning from escaping downward. So all this pent-up energy looks for another way out and ends up blasting upward into the sky. But honestly, we still don't fully understand why it happens. Gigantic jets are also extremely rare. Scientists think that they happen only around 1,000 times a year on the entire planet. And when they do happen, they carry a lot of energy. We're talking more than 50 times the power of a normal lightning bolt. The strongest gigantic jet ever recorded happened in Oklahoma in May 2018. It was intense, reaching a temperature of 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit and releasing about 60 times more energy than regular lightning. In other words, it was a huge burst of electricity flying straight into the sky. Most of the photos we have of gigantic jets come from satellites or astronauts on the International Space Station. But a few have also been captured from airplanes flying over storms. The latest jaw-dropping image was taken on November 19, 2024, by an astronaut aboard the ISS. At first, the picture wasn't released by NASA or any space agency, but one photographer, known for tracking and photographing rare lightning events, found the photo by accident. He was browsing through a NASA-run website called the Gateway to Astronaut Photography of Earth, which hosts photos taken by astronauts. There, he spotted images showing a giant lightning jet. Eventually, the photos were brought to public attention on February 26, 2025, and they've also been turned into a time-lapse video on YouTube. We still don't know exactly about the exact spot where the jet happened. Thick storm clouds covered the ground in the pictures. But based on where the ISS was flying at the time, the jet probably happened just off the coast of New Orleans. Speaking of other images of the gigantic jets, a photographer living in Puerto Rico was taking pictures of a storm moving through the area. That same storm would later grow into Hurricane Franklin. While watching the skies, he saw something truly amazing. Several massive lightning bolts shooting straight up out of the storm clouds, stopping just below the edge of space. No wonder. According to a 2022 study, gigantic jets happen most often in tropical areas, and they're more likely during fast-growing storms, like Hurricane Franklin. Gigantic jets often end with thin, red, branch-like lightning tendrils. These faint red flashes are very similar to another rare type of lightning called Sprites. Those sometimes look like giant glowing jellyfish in the sky. In 2023, an astronomer named Stanislav Kaniansky in Slovakia captured one of the clearest images of a Sprite ever. It happened during a thunderstorm over Central Europe on August 14th, and he spotted it near his home. In the photo, you can see a huge glowing red structure with zigzag patterns stretching over 31 miles across the sky. But like all Sprites, it only lasted a fraction of a second before fading away. Sprites happen when lightning sends electrical energy upward into the upper part of Earth's atmosphere, instead of just downward like regular lightning. This energy creates glowing strands of plasma, which is basically electrified gas, way up in the ionosphere. Since sprites are so fast and often hidden by thick clouds, they're very hard to photograph. But Kaniansky got lucky. The thunderstorm was about 200 miles away from him, so he had a clear view just above the tops of the storm clouds. That perfect angle helped him capture this stunning phenomenon. There are many different kinds of lightning, and some of them are not only rare but also super dangerous. Let's take ball lightning, for example. It's exactly what it sounds like, a glowing, floating ball of light that appears during thunderstorms. It's also one of the weirdest and most mysterious forms of lightning. People have seen these strange light balls, usually about the size of a grapefruit, slowly spinning or hovering just above the ground. Some even say they've seen them float through closed windows or suddenly appear indoors, then vanish after about 10 seconds. For hundreds of years, no one really knew what caused ball lightning. Scientists had no explanation, and most sightings were based on eyewitness stories. Then, in 2012, someone finally managed to capture ball lightning on camera. Since then, different ideas have come up to explain what ball lightning really is. One of the newest theories suggests that the ball is actually a tight bubble of super compressed air. This compressed air bends and spins white light in all directions, making it look like a glowing ball rolling around in the sky. And according to the researchers, ball lightning can be almost 1 billion times more intense than regular lightning that moves in a straight line. Then there are elves. They look a lot like sprites, but instead of looking like jellyfish or dancing shapes, elves appear as huge glowing rings or halos in the sky. And they're massive. An elf can spread out to be up to 185 miles wide. You can even spot them from space or through thin clouds during the day. Dark lightning is probably one of the strangest types of lightning, and most people don't even know it exists. Unlike regular lightning, it doesn't produce a bright flash. Instead, it gives off intense bursts of radiation, especially gamma rays, the most energetic form of light found in nature. Dark lightning happens when high-speed electrons slam into air molecules inside a storm cloud. This creates a burst of gamma rays. They're so strong that they can mess with satellites hundreds of miles away in space. In rare cases, when a plane flies through a thunderstorm, these flashes can hit the aircraft. Some passengers could get a quick dose of radiation, about the same as a full-body CT scan. But worry not. Scientists say these occasions are extremely rare and not a reason to be afraid of flying. And finally, there's positive lightning. You see, lightning is still kind of a mystery, even for scientists. But here's the basic idea. Inside a storm cloud, tiny pieces of ice bump into each other and build up electric charges. Some become positive, others negative. Most of the lightning we see comes from the bottom of the cloud, where there are lots of negative charges. These reach down and zap the ground. But sometimes, lightning comes from the top of the cloud, where positive charges hang out. That's called positive lightning, and it only makes up about 5 to 10% of lightning strikes. Most of the time, those positive charges just zap other parts of the cloud. But sometimes, they shoot all the way down to the ground. That's why positive lightning can strike even when the sky looks clear, because it comes from way up high in the cloud, sometimes miles away from the storm itself. The scariest part is that regular lightning can reach about 300 million volts, while the charge of positive lightning can be up to 1 billion volts. That means positive lightning is much stronger and more dangerous.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.